Oh.
Well, hello there.
Okay, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, refrigerator. Okay, let's drink some wine. Hi everyone, I'm Bryan Hinschberger.
And I'm Paul Hinschberger.
Yes, and we are the Wine Brothers. So yeah, it's been a long time since we've done some videos, Paul.
It has been a long time.
But you're
We're back in the game, and
we're ready to roll. So we are bringing to you a pretty amazing little house from the north of Spain, in the Txakoli area. So northern Spain, Basque Country. In fact, it's kind of fun. We're now filming over here in Boise, Idaho, which is home to the second largest population of the Basque community of the world, outside of Basque Country and Spain.
it's pretty cool.
And the Boise Broncos. Blue turf, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great team.
yeah, great. They're doing awesome. Anyways, this is Bodegas Aizpurua. Bodegas Aizpurua is in Getaria. Getaria is one of the famous little villages right on the ocean, far north Spain, in the heart of Basque Country. And Aizpurua has been there since 1905, I mean, for a very long time. So Maria Jesus, who is the current owner, winemaker, everything, and her daughter Miran kind of do the bulk of everything. But Maria, her grandfather, was the first to start planting all these vines in Getaria. So Getaria, literally, I mean, you are a stone's throw from the water, from their winery, kind of goes straight up in this little village on the hill. Beautiful, green, lush vineyards, trees everywhere. It's pretty stunning.
Yeah.
So
I want to go there.
Let's go tomorrow because we have to do this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seafood in that part of the world is top. It is the top of the world. Everyone wants to go to Basque Country and to San Sebastian to get the greatest seafood shellfish ever. So what do you drink when you're drinking the greatest seafood shellfish ever?
Ta-da!
Bodegas Aizpurua. Because Txakoli it's what you drink with the amazing seafood that's up there. This is, like I said, Hondarrabi Zuri is the grape varietal. And this grape varietal is incredibly high acid, low alcohol. They have
the sparkling.
Yeah, little bit of spritz in there. And it's just ideal for shellfish. Up there you can find everything from good langoustine and parthebes, these cool little barnacles that are so delicious. But the wines are exceptional. So this estate does their kind of classic bottling of Txakoli. This is the Bodegas Aizpurua Txakolina. And Paul, as you swirl it around in that little spout of yours, what do you got? I meant to say snout, but spout works too. You got a spout and snout.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the minerality is piercing. It's like wet granite, or like maybe dry granite, as if you were to lick a piece of granite.
I did that yesterday, and honestly, this is just literally the same. I saw this really old piece of gum, and I licked the granite right next to it because that's gross to eat gum off the floor. I would never do that. So I totally agree. Super high mineral, really high acid, really, really fresh. Kind of a cool stone fruit character on the nose. Kind of really bright, tart green apple.
Yeah. I was getting a lot of grapefruit.
There is definitely some grapefruit. The grapefruit pith.
Kind of like
White pith.
that, almost kind of a hay or dried alfalfa kind of thing. Kind of like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
I would say...
Yeah.
Since it's such an obscure varietal, for people to compare it to, I guess it would be maybe closest to... No, but not really. I
would say if you got to describe this to somebody, just think really high acid, super focused, mineral driven Sauvignon Blanc, but with a Basque twist.
Yeah, it doesn't have nearly the grass or the pungency, but it's...
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it. So what's amazing about these guys, or these ladies actually, they are this kind of iconic little figure in their village. And in Getaria, I mean, there's a lot of Txakoli producers. There's a lot going on because people need to drink a lot of Txakoli. However, they're the only people to do one very particular, very cool thing, in my opinion. I kind of like to geek out on funky, weird wines all the time, and I love wines that have no sulfur treatment or whatever. So they're the only people, from their knowledge at least, and they all kind of know each other, that is making a zero sulfur Txakoli. It's called the Getariako Txakolina. So the concept here is essentially all the old folk in the town, is kind of how they describe it. The old folk in the town really like Txakoli the way it used to be, before there was sulfur, before, long ago when there wasn't all sorts of manipulation you can do to your wines, there was no sulfur, so they were just more pure expression of the fruit, which is what, the sulfur kind of preserves that and squelches it at the same time. And so it's a very important thing in lots of different winemaking, but I also think it's super cool when you have wine with no sulfur. So the Getariako is literally, they have one tank that they make, and they just make it for the village people who like the old school style. When we saw it, we asked if we could have some, and they looked at us kind of funny, like, why would you want some? And we're going, because it's awesome. So tell me, what are you getting here?
It's really interesting. I mean, I would say I don't get as much of that granite right up front. It's more, almost kind of more tropical fruits on the nose, but with kind of
a cool little citrus-esque kick. Not so grapefruity, more like lemon and lime.
Yeah, and pear skin. I get like a skin of pear.
Yeah, you know when the pear skin's just kind of hanging off?
Yeah.
And you just want to eat it?
Smell the skin itself.
That's kind of like the Getariako. Yeah, and the texture is a little bit different too. The laser acidity and the really fresh, kind of prickly pear note on the from the regular Aizpurua isn't quite as pronounced. This has a little bit more body, a little bit more texture, more weight.
Wow, it's really cool. Yeah, definitely doesn't have quite that liveliness, but it's almost maybe more in balance that way. It's kind of has a lot of acid, but still
it's the approachable Txakoli. So someone who is like, oh, that's too high of acid, this might be kind of a fun little option. So they make a third Txakoli, and this one I'm just going to pretend that I'm super great at speaking Basque dialect, because this word, as you'll notice, is quite intense. So this is the Aye Txakolina. The Aye actually spends, so once again, we're dealing with all Hondarrabi Zuri here, but once again, this, instead of being straight off the lees and bottled, this spends 6 months on those lees, those dead yeast cells that are, they do a little bit of stirring at first, but then they just let it chill out. They let it sit on that, so typically adds a lot to the texture, a lot to the bouquet, a lot going on. So Paul, what's happening here? I still see lots of fizz and cool freshness on the glass.
Well, it definitely smells leesy. I mean, being a winemaker myself, as you're fermenting a wine, you eventually you'll rack it off the lees, or maybe you won't. You'll keep it on the lees through its entire life.
Rack it off or whack it off the lees?
Rack it off.
Rack it off the lees. Perfect.
Dude. And it has like kind of a real almost creamy,
kind of beer foamy note, kind of too.
Beer foamy, kind of tropical fruits like papaya. Oh, it has
Oh wow, there's a lot going on in the palate. Have you tried this yet?
No, I haven't,
dude.
And now I'm getting like that Taleggio cheese thing going on,
like
which I love.
Taleggio rind.
Yeah, which I really enjoy. I'm only getting it on the nose, but
that kind of stinky note, but
a little bit, but it
still kind of freshness
at first.
I love it. The tropical fruit is way more pronounced here. So it was like grapefruit to start, went into kind of lemon citrus, and now we're like straight tropical. I think the papaya is an awesome call on the palate too.
Right.
It's pretty cool juice. Super cool. So essentially, I mean, these wines, they're farmed completely, super organically, very hands off, no herbicides, no pesticides, everything's awesomely clean. And they are so dynamite with food. The high acid, the low alcohol, seafood. I mean, we need to go find some dinner now that's going to really pair with these, because I want some fresh shellfish in my mouth.
This one I just want to drink by itself. Maybe.
This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. So, Bodegas Aizpurua from the Txakoli country of Basque the Basque world of northern Spain. So the Basque Country kind of encompasses northern Spain, but also goes into France. This is on the Spain side, kind of just down the water from San Sebastian in Getaria. So yeah, grab yourself some Txakoli, even if you can't. I mean, these ones you should be able to find, but if you ever see these tall, cool green bottles from Txakoli, usually sit on shelves right under $20. They're beautiful,
they're awesome.
Screaming high acid, really, really food friendly. So enjoy this, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.